Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. This is part 2 of a 2-part series replacing the rear disc brake backing plates on a 2004 Trailblazer, same as any 02 to 09 Trailblazer, Envoy, Bravada, Rainier, Isuzu Ascender, and a Saab 9X. Okay, and here's a quick review of all the tools you're going to need, and we are going to start out with reconnecting the emergency brake cable. Okay, you want to put your emergency brake back together. Put this on here first, okay, and then you can push it down, push it into the cylinder here. Okay. And there's a little rod that goes in, and that goes in right there. Take your brake shoes. Okay, they go into a little clip down here, and then on there. And now I'm grabbing hold of my spring again. Okay. Slip the cable down, push it into place. It actually goes together a lot easier than it came apart. Put the axle back in. You want to lift up on it so it doesn't drag against your seal. Just kind of moving around a little bit to push it in. Just has to find its way on the inside. Okay. Okay, and here, what you're really hoping is nothing's moved. So we're going to take our C-clamp, and the side that has the groove near the center is the one you want to put towards the center. Okay, so you just put that onto the axle. It's pushing out through right there, and then you can actually push the axle back by hand. Okay, make sure you have this shaft nice and clean. Put it up in with the hole, okay, at the bottom. Okay. And this is where you're hoping that these gears didn't move around at all. And it would appear that they did just a little bit. Just kind of line it up with my finger. Okay, goes in. Push this in. Okay, start it into place. And your axle's locked back in place. Okay, so that's going in. Just going to hit it with a little dab of Loctite. Being greasy and stuff, it's not going to stick that well, but that's okay. Okay, and you want to tighten this up probably about 8 to 10 foot-pounds, which is tight with this little wrench. That's good. Okay, now we're going to get back into cleaning everything up and putting it back together. So I just wipe down the inside as much as I can, get as much dirt and everything out of there as possible. Now clean up and wipe down your rear end cover, and there's a little rectangle there. That's the magnet. Make sure you get that wiped off really well. right there displaying it. You can see I cleaned it up better. On this one, you do reuse your gasket, and I put just a little bit of sealant on the cover just to help with some of the crustiness from the rust. And now we'll put our cover up there, start it with a couple bolts, then start all the bolts by hand, and then tighten them preliminarily with a wrench after that. And now we've skipped forward. You want to torque these bolts to about 12 foot-pounds. It's not very much, but it's enough to seal it. You don't want to over-torque it because you'll get leaks because you warp your differential cover. So about 12 foot-pounds. I tighten them kind of using an opposite pattern, and then I just go around one by one and just make sure they're all tight. Okay, now we're going to refill the rear end. There's a plug right on the passenger side. Use a 3/8 ratchet with an extension. Remove that plug, and then fill it with 80W90 gear oil. I use a little tube. Helps get the bottle in a position so that you can fill it easier. Once you've filled it and the fluid starts dripping down, put your plug back in, tighten it up. You don't have to tighten it incredibly tight, but get it nice and snug, and then wipe down all the grease off the rear end so you can check for leaks later. Okay, now I'm going to put the brakes back together. If you want to see this in regular speed, just check out our other videos for the Trailblazer rear brake installation. And you can see I've got a new, there's both a new backing plate and new brakes on there. If you want to see those, just check out our other videos on the whole process for that. And so we'll get through that. Very important, you've had your brakes apart. You obviously want to torque your lug nuts on there properly. And you want to pump your brakes afterwards. Make sure that you get your brakes reset and make sure that they're working properly before you test drive the vehicle. Okay, so torque the lug nuts to between 100 and 120 foot-pounds. Kind of use a crossing star type pattern, and then you can put your cap back on. Always make sure after you've had your brakes apart that you pump the pedal a bunch of times, work the pressure back up, and make sure you work the brake caliper pistons back into place. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.